guys, welcome back to Dreamer's Kitchen. Today we're making chicken chow mein. Stay tuned. Now let's get started. Here we already have some chopped garlic and Julienne style ginger, and we're gonna cut our scallions, and we're gonna show you the technique on cutting our carrots in Julienne style. This technique we're about to show you, we're going to do the coin julienne using our carrots. They're going to be similar to what the gingers look like. Most professional chefs would have you square off the edges. However, there's always an easier way to do things, and here in Dreamer's Kitchen, that's exactly what we're doing. Now we're going to cut them thin, but not too thin. That way it can still maintain the juice and flavor. Once they're finished, we're going to line them up and then we're going to slice them in a coin julienne style. Now remember, the idea is to have them looking exactly like our gingers are looking. Get started on our pak choy. Now make sure you wash these because they are usually fresh from the ground up. Now let's give our vegetables a nice big chop. You can cut them in equal size. Once they go in the pot, they will shrink. So a little rundown on what pak choy is. It is a white vegetable which as it grows it gets green, but it's called pak choy, which means white from the stem up, because it grows white from its root. Now with this vegetable, you have to make sure that you wash it really good because it has dirt on it when you do buy it in the supermarket. You have to be mindful of that. Once you get it, you have to rinse it with just water to take all the dirt off, and then it will be ready to cook. You may notice I did not use that many of the stalk, which is the white part that you're seeing, because it's a little bit more crunchy and the carrots already have crunch to them. Let's get started with our chicken. You could use chicken thighs without the bones or chicken breast. What I'm using is chicken breast. Make sure you washed it, and I'm going to trim out any fat, excess fat that I see on the breast. Now to wash your chicken meat, you can use either vinegar or lime juice and rinse after. Now we're going to slice our meat really thin, and we want to make sure they are sliced evenly. Feel free to cut the chicken breast in half and then slice. I left mine just the size that it is. The bigger the better. You'll notice in this recipe I only used 1.5 chicken breasts. You can use 2 or 3, But you noticed I did not cut my breast, so therefore the chunks are a little bit bigger in size, so 1.5 was perfect enough for me. After we are completed or dicing of our chicken, we're gonna season it. Be mindful when you season your chicken, you do not need much salt seasoning because the oyster sauce and soy sauce has so much flavor. You do not need extra salt. Let's start with some sea salt, and that's a 365 sea salt from Whole Foods and or island spiced black pepper. Just a little of our island spice all-purpose seasoning. You will be tempted to add more seasoning to your chicken. However, once everything is cooked, you cannot reverse this step. So I urge you to add a little. If you watch any Chinese video on how to make lo mein or chow mein, you will notice they did not use any seasoning at all. But we are island folks, so we use our seasoning. Let's get started on our sauce, and we have chicken broth, and we're gonna add some cornstarch to the broth. The cornstarch gives it that thickness. Now gently whisk your cornstarch and chicken broth together. Keep whisking to make sure there aren't any lumps. Now let's add our soy sauce. Soy sauce contains a lot of sodium, so you have to be careful when you incorporate this into your sauce, and also you have to be careful of the amount of salt that you've added to the chicken. That is why I used sea salt. Now time for our secret ingredients, oyster sauce. Now oyster sauce does not mean it's only for oyster. It could be used in this recipe also, or for other things. You have to Google those Chinese recipe. It is a Chinese sauce. Oyster sauce is what gives it that sweet and sour flavor. It also has a lot of sodium, but not as much as the soy sauce. Not only will this oyster sauce change the color, but it has a phenomenal flavor. Now for the perfect aroma, we're gonna go ahead and pour a little of sesame oil. Now make sure you whisk each ingredient as you put them in. That helps to monitor the texture and the color. We're going to pour some oil into our pot, and once it is hot, we are going to add our garlic and our ginger. Once our garlic starts to burn, we're going to add our chicken. You don't want to completely cook the chicken all the way through before adding all your ingredients. After about 4 minutes after adding our chicken, we're going to go ahead and add our pak choy. After you add your pak choy, you'll notice the pot will become full. You might be wondering, where is the space for the noodles? No need to worry. After you've added your carrots, you're going to close your pot and let it steam. Once it is done steaming, it will shrink, and that will give you enough room for your noodles. Now, once your pak choy has shrinked, you're going to go ahead and add your noodles. The noodles I used is chow mein noodles. You can, however, use egg noodles, which are used for lo mein. Chow mein noodles, these boil quicker than spaghettis. These are not spaghetti noodles, they're just made of just flour. It takes like 2 minutes or less to rise to the top in the boiling water. So you do not have to spend much time boiling these chow mein noodles. Now here's a fun fact tip. There's not much of a difference making lo mein and chow mein. However, when you make lo mein, the noodles are egg noodles, which you can also get in your supermarkets. Those are just noodles you put in your pot and it's steamed with the chicken and the pak choy. However, for chow mein noodles, you would have to boil those for a minute or two. Now just keep giving it a little stir, and just like that, we have our chicken chow mein. And just for the garnish, we're going to add our chopped scallions and sesame seeds. And there you have it, guys, or chicken chow mein. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.